Good morning, everybody who is already in. Or good evening, good afternoon. I don't know. It depends on where you are in the world. Where are you all from? Can you drop that in the chat? Be curious to see where people connect from. Sandy from Portland. Good morning. Lucy from the UK. Good afternoon. You're very welcome, Rachel. I think it's going to be an interesting one. Just waiting for team to join. And as we are waiting, do not hesitate to write down in the chat where you are connecting from. We are all very curious to see where Etsy sellers are from and Listadum members as well. So like South Africa. This is so cool to see that this little tool that we've created is being used by so many people around the world. This is very exciting. Brighton in England and Edinburgh. Edinburgh? My French doesn't know how to pronounce this city name, unfortunately, in English. I know in French, but
Texas.
Nice.
Yeah, finally our first US person.
Oh, there was Sandy from Portland as well.
Oh yeah, okay. I missed that message.
Team, good morning. Good afternoon.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
We are just waiting for people to trickle in.
Right.
And we're also waiting for you. So
Awesome.
yeah, right on time.
Awesome. Yes. Well, yeah, it's still freezing cold here in Ohio. We still have like 18 inches of snow on the ground. So we're just, it's not melting. It's great. So I know you don't have any snow down there over there, Cyril, huh?
No, it is quite warm here. Like it's not a t-shirt weather outside. It never really is, but
good.
Everybody has been saying where they are from in the chat.
Okay, good.
So for those who don't know,
Sweet.
Nea and I are based in San Francisco in the US. So that's why we don't have snow.
Yep. Oh, that is funny. My name is, let's see if I can change that really quick. Oh, it doesn't matter. You guys know who I am.
Project Versus.
Yes, it's my it's one of my things here. Oh, let me see here. Where do I change that? That's okay.
Toronto must be cold too.
What's that?
Toronto. Michael is from Toronto.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you guys, I know they got some of that snow we got too.
I think Cyril, we can wait 2 more minutes and then start.
Sounds good.
Absolutely. And I think while we are waiting, so today's topic is going to be around Pinterest and how to best leverage Pinterest as an Etsy seller. So if you have any burning question, we'll not necessarily answer all the question while Tim is talking about it, but like do not hesitate to write things in the chat. You can already start writing things in the chat if you have any burning question, and maybe they will be addressed by Tim at any moment. And otherwise, there will be a Q&A at the end. So like, do not hesitate to use this time, to use us, to use Team, to answer every questions you may have about Pinterest and also Listadum. But today, let's try to make it more about the Pinterest side of Listadum.
Yes. Yes, please. Okay, I am still trying to figure out how to change my name here as we go through this. I think it's just the account. Interesting. It's probably just the account that I logged in with, so that's all right.
It's okay. We have your name everywhere.
Yeah, Project Versus is my. I mean, I can talk about that. No, it's my a blog that I started with my son all about cars. So we used to do.
Oh wow.
We did like his car, like he would pick a car and I would pick a car and we would like talk about it. It's pretty cool. So
how old is your son?
He is now 15, so he'll be driving here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he'll be driving here. He get his temps. He actually can get his temporary driver's license right now.
Cool.
Right. So bad timing though because of the snowstorm. So we're just like we're not even thinking about it yet. So
it's
Mm-hmm.
My daughter is 1.5, so you can barely talk.
Oh boy. She'll be driving soon enough.
Yeah.
Oh my. That's awesome. And we have a daughter as well, so she's 12. So yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Okay, let's just start. Yeah, I think we have a good amount of people. We don't need to wait more.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yes, and for everybody to know like this session is recorded, so we will post the recording on YouTube once we have properly edited it at the end. But yes, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to our guest today. Tim Adam is the founder of Pinterest School. I'm sure he will have a cool intro from himself, but like as I've been discussing with him these past few months, I'm always very impressed because one, he's a long-time Etsy seller. He's been doing that for a long time. He's actually written a book that many can, like if you look in libraries for book on how to sell on Etsy, you may find his book. He was also the leader of Handmadeology, which was like a super big community with big blog and big Facebook community talking about how to build, how to make like handmade products and sell them on the internet. So like pretty exciting to have all this experience. Now you have shifted gears towards the Pinterest side of things, and we're really excited to hear about what you have to teach us.
Awesome, guys. Well,
Tim,
thank you.
Take it away.
Yeah, actually, thank you guys so much for having me today. And as Cyril was mentioning, I do have my book, and I want to show you guys. Okay, listen, I wrote this book in 2010. All right, so I'm not recommending that anyone goes and buys it unless you want to like see, you know, young. Let's see. It's just fun. Young me right there. Oh my word! All right, listen. I wrote this book in 2010. My son was 1 month old. And I did, as Rose said, I started selling on Etsy in 2007. I started getting into metal art, metal furniture, and jewelry, and selling it like at shows and craft shows and boutiques and galleries. And someone said, "Hey, you should sell online." And I was like, "What do you mean, like eBay or what? I don't even know." And she was like, "You should sell on Etsy." I had no clue what she was talking about. Got on the site, listed my first couple items, and within like, I don't know, like a week or so, I sold my first item. I remember the first sale on Etsy, 2007. It was like February 2007. I sold it was a candle holder that I made to someone in North Carolina. So I was like, I literally remember the first sale. This is the first thing I ever sold online, and it changed my life. Like it literally, from then on, a year after that, I was able to quit my job. Go full time with my Etsy, and obviously other handmade things like the craft shows and all those kind of things. But like I was going full time, and but in the meantime, I was able to started teaching people how to use social media, how to market their Etsy shop and their handmade goods and things like that, and quickly became. And I mean, back in 2007, 2008. You know, there wasn't a lot of information out there. Etsy didn't even have their own how-to stuff. And so I was like a featured writer on Etsy for a little while with my blog posts and all that kind of good stuff. And that's why we had a publishing company come to me and actually said, "Hey, you want to write a book?" And I was like, "Sure." So I was kind of like not skeptical. I mean, it was a big publishing company, but it was really fun. So grew a blog to over 500,000 readers called Handmadeology. But in the meantime, as going through all this, Pinterest came around. 2010, Pinterest launched. I was literally one of the first people to get on Pinterest, to get on the list to start it, because I knew that it would be something that would benefit artists and anyone making anything. And so we got on there, started pinning and started teaching people literally in 2010 how to use Pinterest. And here we are. What year is it? 2026. 16 years later, I'm still talking about Pinterest because it is 100% relevant today for anyone who's selling almost anything. And we're going to talk about that today. We're going to get into why should we have our Etsy shop, our entire Etsy shop on Pinterest, how we can do that, the things that we can do. This is going to be, I'm going to share my screen. Is that okay? So I share my screen here. Okay, let me get that going here. I'm sitting here yapping and I didn't even share my screen yet. So, so y'all can read that. And if at any time that goes away, just speak up, Cyril, just a little bit. Because sometimes I shouldn't click out of this, but if y'all don't see it, then I'm just talking, just let me know. So I'm not gonna read this big old paragraph. You guys can see that, but it's just a little bit about me and a little bit about what we have going on. I kind of just talked about it, but I have a few Pinterest accounts. We're going to talk about one of them very specifically today because it's very targeted for my Etsy shop and what I did with that inside of Pinterest School. So as we mentioned before at the beginning, like I started a school on school.com for Pinterest and teaching anyone, not just Etsy sellers, but anybody with a business, how to use Pinterest to gain traffic and market. And we talk about that on a daily basis. We just hit 1,500 members. It's growing like crazy. It's an amazing community as well. So I'm sure there's going to be links somewhere. Cyril has a link, I'm sure, for Pinterest School. So if you guys sign up, get over there. It's free. It's a free community, but also there's some things that we have beyond free. But there's a lot of free information for you guys to get started and just skyrocket this traffic. So let's get into all of this right here, and we're going to talk about why Pinterest. Okay, so this presentation is called Creating the Perfect Pin, and I kind of geared it towards Etsy, obviously, but because we want to create the perfect pin, because we want to put the work in and put our pins on Pinterest, but we want to make sure they're perfect, right? And if we're putting stuff out there that's not perfect, then it's not going to be optimized and all that stuff. And you're going to figure that all out. So today we're just going to be talking about all that. So why Pinterest? Okay, so there's 578 million monthly active users on Pinterest, and that's even more. This is like end of year 2025 stats that you'll see, because we don't have all the stats yet. But this huge. Like, it's always growing. This platform is growing by 12 to 15% every single year. You're gonna hear me say what I love about Pinterest like a million times, because I love everything about Pinterest. So just whatever, just go with it, right? So it is a visual discovery platform. All right, because people are going on there. I mean, all of us probably have seen it. If we have an account, we use it. If we don't, we know what it is. But you're visually scrolling through things that you searched for. And it's very visual, and that's why it works for Etsy, because Etsy is visual as well. And so what we have to talk about is how Pinterest is a high conversion potential, because people are coming there they're ready to act, they're ready to purchase, they're ready to create, they're ready to learn, they're ready to find the answers to the problems that they're looking for, the solutions, or that home decor item, or whatever that is. They're looking for it. They're literally going to the top, searching it in, and saying, oh, here's that recipe, or here's that piece of wall art that I really want, and there it is, and I'm looking at it, and then I can go and buy it. So it's very the high conversion potential right away, because they're not just doom scrolling on Instagram looking at stuff and finding funny videos of cats, which are fun, but that's really not what's happening on Pinterest. Okay, so and who should be on Pinterest, right? So I said it earlier, but anybody should be on Pinterest. Like, it says here on my slide, is like DIY, fashion, fitness, food, home decor, wellness, making money. Any single niche, anybody is going on Pinterest and searching, and any business should be on there. And we talk about that all the time over in Pinterest schools. How do I know this? How do I know what people are searching for? And there's two things that we're going to talk about today. There's Pinterest trends and pin clicks, and these are some highly recommended tools that you guys use. So let's say anyone offering a visually compelling or solution oriented content. But I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, obviously we're selling on Etsy, and we know that our stuff should be visually appealing, because we got to get those clicks over from all the Etsy search as well. So we're already doing that. And it makes sense over on Pinterest. So let me move on here. So more stuff about Pinterest, right? So it's massive engagement, and we have it's 1.5 billion pins per week. 1.5 billion pins per week. And like I said, these numbers are probably going to be much higher this year, because just more and more people are doing it, right? And so on average, someone with their phone who's using Pinterest, they're getting on more than once a day on average, and that's just on the phone. And one of the things that I love about Pinterest, another thing that I love about Pinterest, is it is a unbranded discovery, and it leads to opportunities. What that means is, like, they're not big brands are on Pinterest, but more likely it's better for us smaller creators and businesses because 96% of searches are unbranded, meaning not the big brands like Target and all that kind of stuff. You'll see them on there. They're mostly ads. That's what it is. But it's great for us smaller creators and small business owners, and it's amazing. All right. So and like I said earlier, 578 million. We're growing over 12% every single month or every single year, and that's just the proof of the growth. And I mean, it's just an amazing platform. So now some more unique benefits. Okay, so basically what we're talking about here, like let me say it again, it is a search engine. It's not social media. You can't search Instagram. You can a little bit, maybe TikTok, I don't know, whatever, and certainly not Facebook that well, but Pinterest is a search engine first, right? So it drives consistent long-term traffic to websites, blogs, Etsy shops. Okay, when I mean long-term, I'm talking years. All right, so I have pins from like 2010 that I can look at, and I know they still drive traffic to wherever they're going because those pins live on forever. As long as you delete them, or as long as you don't delete them, or the link is still good, they live on there forever. So you create a pin one time, and you do it correctly, that it will perform for you for forever and ever. Okay, so yeah, it remains relevant for months, and I should change that because it's years. Like I literally have pins that are performing from years, but it just gives us that growth potential to reach audiences like organically through keyword optimization. And we have a short little thing in here about SEO. Don't get scared. Don't tune out. Don't leave my call, because SEO is scary, but to some people, but it's not. Like on Pinterest, it's so easy, and yeah, so it's very easy. Okay, so remember, people are searching and they're looking for solutions. They're looking for something to buy, right? And we have those things to buy right in our Etsy shops, right? So what I want to talk about here, this next slide, is a very interesting experiment that happened in Pinterest School in December. So I have had a Pinterest account since 2010. I mean, it's got like, I don't know, 3 million monthly views or something like that, whatever. It's been around forever. It's this big thing, whatever here. But like, it's very hard for people to look at that and say, well, okay, that's great. Well, Tim's got all these millions of views, but like, I'm sitting down here with no views, or I've never even started a Pinterest, or I have 100 views or whatever it is. So what I decided to do in December is start a brand new Pinterest account from zero followers, 0 pins, in a niche that I literally know nothing about. If you go to my house and look at my landscaping, it's terrible. I'd like it to be better, but it's not. And I don't garden or anything like that. But I knew that like if I started a brand new Pinterest account in the gardening plant niche, which is huge on Pinterest, if you're doing any of that stuff, I highly recommend that because it's huge. And so I decided to start that to bring myself down to where the majority of people are, to show you what can we do starting from 0. And my goal was to hit in 30 days, hit 100,000 views, 100,000 public views. And meaning that's what the number that you see if you look at someone's Pinterest account. Well, I'm sitting over here creating this whole program or whatever, and my wife is sitting like over there. She's like, Tim, he's like, what if you don't hit 100,000 views in 30 days? I'm like, oh, it's going to happen. And so after a week or so, I'm like, well, this is not going to happen right away, right? So 100,000 views was not going to happen in 30 days for us creators that aren't pinning 1 million pins a day or whatever, like these AI generated guys are. But what happened was it made me realize that like I can help people start from 0 and take them through this process. And one of the biggest things that I've learned through this and what I teach every single day is like, don't wait. Don't wait. You need to just start. Don't wait for perfection. You can perfect things later, but just launch it, right? If you're sitting here today, even during this call or after this call, you're like, oh, I just don't have a Pinterest account. I don't know what to do. I don't want to start it. Well, it's very easy to do, especially if you join Pinterest School. It was literally, you can start your Pinterest, turn it into a business account, and start pinning like within 30 minutes. I guarantee it, right? It's easy to do, but just start, and then you can tweak things afterwards. But this was an amazing experiment. It's still going on. Haven't hit 100,000 views yet, but as you go through the process here in Pinterest School, it's been awesome. People are learning, people are following. It's been really, really good. Now, one of the ways that I monetize this, because I have to monetize things, is I have already a Etsy shop with AI generated images, AI art, TV art, all this kind of stuff. So I shifted some of that stuff over into like the plants and like botanical things and flowers, which absolutely makes sense and translate as well. And it's been going very well. So really, really cool. So we'll talk about that. You'll see even more about that. But let's get into the foundation of a perfect pin. All right. Just like on Etsy, when you're thinking about things to sell, if you have to do some keyword research. You have to figure out what people are buying, what people are searching for. And the same thing on Pinterest. If you're trying to rank for something or trying to get views for something that no one is searching for, you're not going to get any views. If no one's wanting to buy that thing, you're not going to get any sales. I mean, you might get some random sales here and there or some random views, but it's going to be long and hard process, right? So the foundation of a perfect pin starts with keyword research. You have to know what people are actually searching for. So remember, Pinterest is a search engine. People are searching 1.1 billion searches per month. People are typing in exactly what they're looking for. Like, like blue carpet for my living room, whatever. They're literally typing that into the search, like exactly what they're looking for, how to do this, how, to buy this, to look for that, whatever it is, they're typing that in. And the right keyword equals that your pin is going to rank in days and possibly days and not months and not years or whatever. It's going to rank faster if you're actually using the right keywords that people are actually searching for. Okay, the wrong keywords, your stuff is going to stay invisible. Your pins will stay invisible. Your Etsy items in your Etsy shop, if you're not doing the keyword research and you're not playing on some of those trends that are trending in your business, like you're going to sit there and you're going to be invisible. So the big takeaway for this one, you guys, is to start. What does it say down there? Start with what people are already searching for, right? Because don't try to make pins and don't try to sell Etsy things because you think they're cool. Like, you might, I mean, if they are cool and other people think they're cool and they want to buy those, then yes. But like, if you are the only one who thinks they're cool, then no one's going to buy them, right? So like when I was selling on Etsy, one of the big things that happened to me was like I was trying to sell big pieces of metal furniture, industrial, awesome looking modern furniture. But for me, I knew that like that was a very small niche and it was harder to do. So I was like, what could I shift to that people are buying? So I decided to start creating jewelry, like modern industrial jewelry that I can create faster, and it's something that's smaller to ship. It's something that is easy to take pictures of, all that kind of stuff. So I was shifting, but I knew that people love jewelry as well, so that people were buying jewelry. And so that's what that little shift in my business, before we had any way of even knowing what was selling on Etsy, because we have all these tools now that we can like research. And so I shifted, and that's what allowed me to quit my job, because I figured out a shift in what people were buying that I could shift my business to. And I love furniture. Like I love that. I thought it was cool. It was a cool thing, but I just knew that like it was a harder sell. So jewelry was the thing for me when I did that. So moving on to more keyword research. So a couple things here. One of the things you can do if you have your Pinterest account, or you could even, well, you have to have Pinterest account, but there's a thing called Pinterest trends, and we can look at what is trending, and you can see like graphs, and it's pretty cool. But you can't see like, exact searches and the exact search volume, and you can't dig down into it any further and just seeing these nice little graphs here, and they show you some things, but they're not exact numbers. So but I do love getting inspiration from Pinterest trends, because that is, Pinterest is putting them out there. They also have like shopping trends and predictions as well. So what are people buying? What are people clicking on? They even have click-through or outbound click ratings or whatever. So that's pretty cool. I just saw that today. But what I really love is a feature, as a tool called pin clicks. Okay, so if you're familiar at all with this, you might have seen this inside of Listadum, and it's a way for you guys another tool that you guys can use. But pin clicks is amazing. It has changed the way that I run my Etsy shop. It's the way that I change the way that I pin, because I'm going in, because I'm creating an Etsy shop that I'm solely getting my traffic from Pinterest for on purpose, because I'm my experiment with Plant and Bloom and all those kind of different things. But like on PinClicks, you can find out the exact monthly searches. Okay, so like you can see like drawing ideas, 18 million searches per month just for the keyword drawing ideas. And this is specifically on Pinterest, not Etsy, not Google. This is on Pinterest. Okay, and you can see this is just a screenshot, but like even just the word pink, and then pixel art, all those different types of things. You can see those inside PinClicks, and it's absolutely amazing. And one of the things that I shifted to in my Etsy shop with my AI generated art was I love cars. I talked about, if you guys are here at the beginning of the call, I love cars. And so on one of my Pinterest accounts, I decided to make Porsche, so the car Porsche wallpaper for your iPhone, and it was trending like crazy, over 5 million plus searches per month. I wanted to see if I could do it, and I created a wallpaper download for like $3 in my Etsy shop and promoted it and did it all over Pinterest. And it makes sales every single day while I sleep. It's awesome. And like I shifted, I would never have known that if I wouldn't have got on and done some keyword research using tools like Pinterest Trends. It started with Pinterest Trends, and then PinClicks came around, or I found it or whatever. And then, but it is an amazing tool, you guys. So you could also do other things. Like you could dig deeper into your niche. Like if I'm trying to say, okay, what other trending topics or keywords can I focus on in my niche that I don't know about? And then focus down on those, because maybe they're less competitive and things like that. But you also can find out the top pins in your niche. So I can spy on my competitors and see what they're doing, and maybe do some things, not copy them. Obviously, we want to do things better than what our competitors are doing. So I'm going to look at them and say, what can I do better than what they're doing? And so that's the power of PinClicks, you guys. So I know Cyril will have a link to that somewhere. I know it's already in Listadum, but guys, it is a powerful tool. Sign up for it, and it will not only help you for Pinterest, but it will help you for your Etsy shop as well, because then you're finding out what people are searching outside of Etsy. And what people are searching for outside of Etsy means they're looking for solutions. They're looking to buy those things, and you might have those in your Etsy shop as well. So PinClicks is amazing. Can't talk enough about that. Cyril knows that. Okay, so let's talk about. So we talked about our keyword research, and that is the foundation. So obviously, Pinterest is a visual platform, visual search engine, and we have to be visual. We have to make sure that our pins look good, right? And it's going to start with a tall pin. Okay, so 2:3 ratio. You could post a little square, but Pinterest gives us that real estate. So why not create something that's tall? And that way we can take up more real estate, right? So I always recommend that the taller the better. Back in the day, we used to be able to literally post like pins that were like this long. I mean, it was ridiculous. I don't know. They were like infographics and stuff. And I still have pins that I'm like, what were we doing? It's fun to look back, 16 years later and see what you're up to. But what I recommend you guys, make sure you're posting high quality photos, graphics, created in Canva, whatever it is. Make sure it's high quality. Okay, if it's blurry and it's bad, no one's going to click on it. Just like Etsy, if your first item, if your product photography is blurry and dark and whatever, people are going to scroll right past it and not click on it. It's the same as Pinterest. Okay, if you have a bad looking pin that's blurry or dark or whatever, that's not standing out, people are going to scroll right past it and move on to the next one right next to it. So make sure that all the text that's on your pin is readable, right? So you might think, oh, that font is super cool and this is really cursive, but if you can't read it, I mean, you know what it says, but if someone's looking at it and they can't read it, they're just going to pass right by. So make sure it's like you pick fonts that people can read. All right. And anything that's overlay, obviously we want to make sure we can read that. Right. So let's move on to the types of pins that we can create. Right. You're going to obviously our standard pins that everybody knows, like pictures and images and graphics or whatever. Those are standard. Idea pins. I leave this on here in this presentation just because they still exist for some people. They're kind of going away and they're morphing into video pins. So like I just throw it on there just if you see that They're video pins now, but we can post videos. All right. So obviously, just like Etsy, you guys, you're able to post a video inside of your Etsy listing. And I highly recommend that anybody, like if you have an Etsy shop and you have listings, you need to put videos in there. Okay. And it can be a very simple video created in Canva where it's just, maybe a text is flying in or something, because Etsy likes at listings that have videos. Okay. And Pinterest also, think about it. If you have a Pinterest feed and there's a pin here and a regular pin here and a video pin here, the video pin is going to get more eyes on it because it's moving and something like that. So I always recommend that people try to test out video pins for themselves. And the easiest way to do that is just make video pins in Canva. Super easy to do, you guys. You literally could, you can animate text. You can have a picture like move and like just simple little things like that. I'm not talking about like getting on and like talking. You can do that kind of stuff, but I just recommend just simple videos that catch people's eyes. And the other one that I don't have on here, I need to add it on here, but it's carousels. All right. So it's just like Instagram. We can add multiple pictures to one pin, so we can provide more value for one pin. And those are there as well. So I like those. I use those a lot. Now, when we're talking about the rest of our pin, because there's a little bit left over here, we need our descriptions, right? We need our titles and our descriptions, and we need our call to action. All right. So like if I'm talking about this piece of wall art over here, I'm going to say, hey, click over to my Etsy shop, or click here to buy, right? So put that in our description, or maybe you put that right on your picture. You can put a call to action on a picture, like read more, click here, that kind of stuff. That's forcing them, like you've already gathered their attention with your image, and now we're trying to get them to click over and visit our Etsy shop. And that's a long-term goal, right? We can get views and we can get impressions, but our long-term goal obviously is to outbound click over to our Etsy shop, get them in there and buy our Etsy listings, right? Our Etsy items. So call to actions are huge. And then the other thing that I talk about in the perfect pin here is making sure that our links are correct. Okay. So sometimes, maybe like a blog, we delete our blog, or our links aren't there. Just make sure that your links are correct. So if I'm creating a pin over here for this purple flower and I accidentally link it over to my yellow flower, that's not great. It still sends them to our Etsy shop, but that's not what they're looking for. That's not what we're looking for, right? So we want to make sure that our links are correct, are not broken. We can go back and fix those things if we need to. I'm not saying you spend all your time like going back and fixing links. Like I have like 24,000 pins on my one account. I'm not going to go back and check all those way back from 10 years or 16 or whatever years ago. I'm not going to fix all those, but if you know that something is going on, fix those broken links. Okay. And make sure you're always linking to the correct thing. Say, like I said, if I'm talking about purple flowers here on Pinterest and I'm linking to the yellow ones, make sure they're the right ones. Okay. So let's talk about the world famous acronym here, SEO, right? So we talk about, you hear about, if you're selling on Etsy, which you guys are, you hear about it all the time. Listadum does a great job of helping everybody out with their SEO and their keywords and all that kind of stuff. And it's no different on Pinterest, okay? And it's going to sound super familiar, but there's only a few places that we have to worry about where our keywords go, and I'm going to talk about them right now. So the first place starts with, before you even start pinning, and it starts with your board. All right. So if you're not familiar with Pinterest, how Pinterest is set up is you get on, you create a board. So like I'm going to talk about purple flowers. We're just going to use it as an example. I use it all the time. But purple flowers, right? So I'm going to say I'm going to create a board for purple flowers, and every time I pin something in there, it's going to be purple flowers. So my keyword that I want to rank for is purple flowers, right? So my board name is going to have purple flowers in there. My board description is going to have purple flowers in there, and that is pretty much it for my board. That's it. Title and description. Okay, so then we get into our pin. There's only 3. So we were only really focusing on 5 places to put our keywords. And then the pin is our title, it's our description, and it's our alt tag. And an alt tag might sound, I think you guys all probably hopefully know what the alt tag is. If you don't, it's what search engines look at a picture. It's text that tells the search engine what the picture is without it trying to look at it. I mean, Pinterest actually does a decent job with whatever they use to figure out what a picture is if there's no alt tag. But we have the ability on Pinterest to tell the search engines, tell AI, tell Pinterest what our picture is. So we might as well put it in there. So our keywords should be in there. So it's not guessing. Okay. So keywords and SEO is not hard. This topic, turns people off a little bit and like, I can't think about that. It's not hard. And right inside Pinterest School, I literally have it's in the Pin to Profit course that's 100% free as soon as you join. It literally says simple SEO. There's like 3 things that I teach you. There's a video that I literally just talked about, and it shows you, walks you through it, and it's very easy, you guys. So that is keyword SEO. Now, one of the things is
one quick interruption with a question from Michael. That's relevant to your previous slide.
Yep.
He was asking if for keywords, does Pinterest read the text in an image, or is it just the text that is in description, title, alt, and bold names in description, as you were talking about? Like, does it read the image?
I think it does. And you can also one of the tips that I talk about is you could actually in Pinterest, before you pin your pin, you can put text on it. There's like a little mini editor that you can literally put text on it. So it's another place that we can actually another place that we can tell Pinterest what it is. So not only the alt tag, but you also put it in there, but Pinterest does read the text on the images. I've seen it. I mean, I haven't seen what they use, but I know that they do, because I've seen people pin without putting the alt text in, and then I see that through pin clicks, you can see that kind of thing. You can see what the alt text is on some things, and like Pinterest does, Pinterest pulls text from it. Correct, yes. But we don't want to rely on that. We want to make sure that we put that alt text in there, and we're telling them what it is for sure. But it doesn't hurt to have it on there, and so it's pretty cool. So great question. Very good. Okay, so sorry. Moving forward here. So when you guys head over to Pinterest School, and what I have for you, I build a little tool, and it's my little tool called the SEO checker. I made this thing like, I don't know, a few months ago. It's not a silly little tool, but it's just a learning tool, and it teaches you, say, here's my keyword, here's my pin title, here's my description, here's my alt tag, and it gives you a score based on like where your keywords should be and the volume. And it's been one of the coolest things for my Pinterest School members, and they love it because they love using it. But after a while, you use it a few times, you're like, oh, I'm good with that. So now I'm done with it. It's like a learning tool. So I have that for you guys. If you go over and join, it's over there. It's free. It's just a little tool. I am not a programmer, but this was built in Canva AI, so it's pretty awesome. So let's talk about some pin design. Okay, so pin design is huge, because we're talking about how this is a visual search engine, and we want these pins to stand out. We want them to grab your attention and make you click. Okay, so I've got a few pins here. Cyril's like, what's that left one? I'll be talking about that in a second. But these are all pins for Plant and Bloom that I started. A few of them are for some blogs that I did not write. AI wrote them for me because I don't know anything about plants, but I did that, whatever. I'm trying to get some, and it's good information. I actually learned from AI. It was awesome. So, but what I did, so this middle one right here, so these are some top performing pins. The one on the left with the red arrow, I literally just pinned it today, and we're going to talk about what that is. And then, but the one in the middle here is one of my top performing pins that drives traffic back to Etsy. This is a AI generated piece of wall art that someone can download. And I put this pin, you can see that it's tall. Does not have a call to action on there, but in the description, it would have. If you look to the far right, we have blog about houseplants. There's a call to action right on there that says read more. You guys, if you've been on Pinterest, you've seen things like these, all that kind of good stuff. But the one to the far left, let me just see what, okay. This one right here is also a piece of wall art that I have. And this one was created in Listadum today with the brand new, the brand new templates that that Listadum has for you for Etsy. So if you guys are on Listadum and you're using it at all, and you've seen the Pinterest scheduler and amazing tool that they have, and this is, we've been talking, Cyril and I have been talking and figuring out what can we do to make this better. And in the past, you've been able to just pin the images that you have on Etsy. Now you can get away, and those are usually square, small, not small, but they're square. Someone just asked where they see it. When did you post this? And when did you have this available, Cyril? Because I found it today.
We just released that on Monday. The ability to create a
Yes.
long pin from an image.
Yeah.
Monday.
Okay, good. I wish I
Pretty
would have
new.
found it. I know. I wish I would have found. I should have. I don't know. I don't know where. I mean, I do other things, but anyway. So super awesome, you guys. Now we're able to not only pin our Etsy, just our Etsy pictures, because I'm going to show you guys what I did in a little bit and what I've been doing on Listadum as well, with the Pinterest thing. But now we can create these. We can create these taller pins, which are awesome. And there's a template. We can choose pictures, put the words on there. We can put our Etsy shop on there if we want to, or not if you don't want to. It's awesome. Game changer, you guys. This is going to, and you're going to see what I've done in the past. So I've been using Listadum for Plant and Bloom since December, and you'll see all that in a little bit. This is just a little taste of it. I'm going to show you that. But one of the things I wanted to talk about also as well, and I took one of my pictures down just to show that picture today, but a lot of my images, because are AI generated. Okay, so like not my pins, but some of them are. Some of them have AI pieces in there through Canva. And one of the questions I get all the time is like, is AI okay for Pinterest? And 100% yes. Some of my top performing pin on the brand new Pinterest account, Plant and Bloom, is literally an AI generated image, like of a field of daisies. So it's cool. It's like, but now Pinterest is actually tagging some of these images that are AI modified, and they say that, and that's fine. So they're 100% fine with that, and they perform well. So keep on doing that. If you're not doing that, do it. It's fine. Okay. So moving on to scheduling. Okay. So creating that perfect pin, we've got that locked down. One of the things that I talk about for Pinterest, like anything else, is being consistent. Okay. It doesn't have to be a lot of things like 50 pins a day or anything like that. It needs to be, but there needs to be some consistency with what you're doing. And maybe it's 1 pin a day, maybe it's 2 pins, maybe it's 10 pins a day, whatever that is. Maybe it's 5 pins a week, whatever that is for you. Consistency needs to happen, and doing that with a pinning schedule is the best way to do it. And so being active every day. We talk about repinning. I'm not going to dive into that too much, but I talk about why repinning other people's pins is important on our own Pinterest account, and why we talk about that in Pinterest School. It's something that that shows that your account is active and you're doing the right things. But we'll dive more into that later. But if you guys join Pinterest School, we don't need to talk about it today. But creating fresh pins, okay, fresh images, titles, and descriptions, making sure we have those fresh pins happening every day, and then just consistent research. Okay, I talk about this a lot in Pinterest School. Every week we talk about keyword research, and some of the tasks that I give my students is like, hey, you need to research what's happening in your niche, like today, what's happening right now, and you might find something that's going to spark your interest and be like, oh, well, then I can pin them out these things because they're trending, and I didn't even know that before I started doing some research. So Pinterest trends, Pinterest pin clicks, those things that I recommend spending. There's 5 to 10 minutes a week, literally just searching, just to spark your brain a little bit and just think about some things. And so, scheduling is important. That Pinterest has its own native Pinterest schedule. So if I'm sitting in Pinterest and I'm creating pins and I'm uploading, I can push publish on that, or I can say, oh, I'm going to schedule this for whatever. So this literally built right in. You can do it on your phone, you can do it on your computer, whatever. But since we're all Etsy sellers listening to this, Listadum has an amazing scheduler. I'm telling you guys, I've been using Pinterest for a long time, and pinning things for my Etsy shop was like a chore. It really was. And like I had to make sure that I grabbed the share and save link. I had to make sure that I was creating pins that are not the square images. I had to grab my title and my description and all this stuff. And then I had okay, by that time I'm 10 minutes into a pin or more, and I'm like, all right, so this took me forever. And now, I got to do more, right? So Listadum has a way for you guys to go in there and literally start scheduling pins. And I'm going to show you what my calendar looks like here for my Etsy shop on Listadum. You guys are like, what is happening? So these are all pins that are going to go out like today, tomorrow, this entire month for my Etsy shop. So imagine you have an entire month of pins going out, already scheduled, already pre-optimized for SEO. You have the right images, everything, and now you can sit back. I literally did this all today. Seriously, because I was like, oh shoot, I gotta show this, but I had a bunch already. Okay, so I think I had Wednesday through Saturday done, and then I was like, oh, I gotta get in there, and then I found out that you all had the template ready to go. I was like, okay. So we started doing some templates. You can see some of those floating around here, some of the templates, whatever. So you see that. So you can see that in, 30 minutes, you can have an entire month of pins done for you that are ready to go. When I saw this tool before I even knew who Cyril and them, you guys are, I literally was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I have to start using this, and I did, and then we all connected, and here we are talking today with you guys. So it's awesome. This is just a screenshot, so I can't click on any of that stuff, but this is a game changer for you guys. If I know that like being on social media and Instagram and TikTok and all those different things is a grind, and it's annoying and whatever, but Pinterest is the way for you to create evergreen traffic, creating it one time, and possibly getting traffic for a lifetime with these pins, and being able to create fresh pins on a daily basis quickly, very quickly, and it's a game changer. So in the past, since I started using Listadum back, I think it was December, right at the beginning of December, I have pinned over 372 pins. And that's just, I didn't do it. Listadum did it, right? And it was amazing. And so you can see how many impressions we've had. Those are views over on Pinterest. Our outbound clicks to Etsy, they're not huge. And that's the way that, and remember, this is a brand new account. As I'm building this account, we're getting more and more views and getting things out there and finding those pins that are, maybe those listings that, what I love about it is I can get these pins out there, and then I can analyze my pins on my own time and say, oh, well, this Field of Daisy, wall art did way better than the other ones. I'm going to double down on this and start creating more of those in my Etsy shop, and then creating a bunch more pins for that, and just really driving traffic as well. So that's where I'm at the point in the stage of like where Plant and Bloom is seeing what's performing well and getting more and more of those outbound clicks. So I can get that traffic up. And it's 372 pins, creating those one at a time. I don't even know how long it would take me to do that. Way too long. So so this is just a peek at it. If you guys are on Listadum, get on there today and check it out. But this is just a peek at some of the things I was doing today and what I love about this. As you get on there, you look at your you look at your Etsy shop and you say create, you go to the pins little button. And one of the thing that when I opened up Listadum for the first time and I saw what it was, and I said, and it said, it's taking your share and save link. I was like, and I don't even have to do that. Like what I was doing before, I would go over to my Etsy shop and I would take that link and I'd paste it over here, and it would take me so long. But right here, it's already taking that link for us and just put it right in there, so we can save money on every single pin that we put out on Pinterest. All those 372 pins have my share and save link, and we're gonna be saving lots of money, right? All right. So, but one of the things I love right here, if you guys are already using Listadum, if you're not, we have our AI optimizer for Pinterest. We also have that for our listing in our shops. We have it for Pinterest as well. When you hit that button, it's going to optimize that for the keywords that you want it to optimize for. You put them in there, and it'll optimize that text for you. It literally just it takes it and makes it so fast you don't have to think about it, and it's good to go. But you can, I mean, you can go in there and you can edit it if you want to. If you don't like what it says, you can edit it as well. But it gives you a good basis and just go from there. We can
interrupt you, Tim.
Yeah.
Again, like this button on the top right, optimize for Pinterest, is also new as of this week. And it's a way to update both the title and the description by incorporating keywords that you want to incorporate. So definitely recommend using that compared to the previous version where you had to do the title and the description separately, and it was not necessarily optimizing for any keywords. So now if you have done your keyword research using Pinterest Trend or using pin clicks, you can input these keywords in the optimize for Pinterest button up there, and it will incorporate them naturally, like in using natural language, so that it feels like a human wrote it, and that will help you with your Pinterest SEO and all sorts of SEO.
Yes, okay. I love it. It's awesome. It makes it so quick, right? So we have that, and to begin with, when you look at it, you have your regular images from Etsy, and those are fine. I mean, hey, if they're there, they're there. But like, remember, they're going to be a smaller image. So what we've been talking about and what I'm excited about, obviously, is the templates. Okay, so obviously this is the beginning of the templates. We talked about, or Cyril said, like, obviously things are changing. This is like the beginning of it, but even so, like, you have the ability to create these templates with the colors and put it in your title and a subtitle, adding your shop name or not, and just puts it right in there. And right now, even where it's at its beginning stages of this, it's awesome, you guys. I mean, you saw, and it's going to create these pins that are taller. They're looking better. They're taking up more real estate, and this should change the way you guys look at Pinterest and Etsy forever, you guys, because be able to create those pins quickly, schedule those pins, sit back, and not have to worry about driving traffic to your Etsy shop. This is the game changer for you, for sure, at 100%. Like, I literally been in this game so long with Pinterest and Etsy, and this has changed how I do that. So so moving on, I'm going to get to a slide right here. Before we get to questions and answers, like the Q&A, I have one more thing that's super fun that I love to talk about. It is called, it's called cross-platform growth. Okay, this is something that you can use. Now we're going to shift away from Etsy for just like 4 minutes, but basically what I like to talk about is anything that has a link, you can make a pin for. So Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, any other social media, we're just going to focus on social media platforms, whatever. It's called cross-platform growth, because I mean, this right here, this image right here, I know this is an image of it's a pin, and I can't click on it, I can't show you. It's a little video of this artist that made this 3D art. I got permission to repost it on my Instagram because I was featuring her, and then we posted it on Pinterest or whatever. So over on Instagram, it got 2.4 million views. Like, okay, that's pretty awesome. So let's do the same thing over on Pinterest and see what happens. And there we got 2.1 million views. But the goal for this pin was to drive traffic back to my Instagram. So then you can cross-platform, you can grow things, and post one time on Instagram and then repost it on Pinterest multiple times in different ways or whatever. But what I also want to show you is how this pin performed over time. Because I posted this pin in May of 2024, and then as it went, it's like, okay, all right. And then all of a sudden, some reason in the middle of July, it went crazy. It skyrocketed, right? And so maybe it was because of something that people were searching or whatever the keywords were with this thing. And it just shows the long-term longevity of what pins can do. And I'm just telling you right now, this pin was posted in 2024, and I need to put this picture on here, but the lifetime views, impressions on this pin on Pinterest is over 10 million. And it's just cool to see that progress. And like I said, it started with nothing, and all of a sudden it got picked up for some reason, and here we are. So what this does for you is it extends the life of the content that you're creating over on these other platforms. Okay, like Instagram Reels. Why not link back to them on Pinterest? And it gives you more things to pin about. It gives you more ways to grow your brand and cross-platform, enhanced visibility, and just better. It drives that brand growth because other people are now seeing those Instagram or TikTok videos that die off in 24 hours that don't go viral. So it's a very good way to do that. And I love that because it's just, it's taking something that's working over on, another platform and putting it on Pinterest and seeing it perform is just, it's so fun. So awesome, you guys. So that I'm going to throw this up, and actually I'm just going to unshare my screen, Cyril, and let's take some questions. And if you don't mind, maybe reading them for me, I know because you guys had time to look at it. I don't even know what's going on.
To be honest,
yeah,
we set up this session for 1 hour, but it's been running 2 hours every single time. So I'm sorry for.
Hey, that's fine.
I think, Cyril, if you want to give a quick demo for people, because I think people have a lot of questions around that, let's just do that in 5 minutes, and then we'll pick Q&A.
For sure.
I have so many questions and people have so many questions.
Awesome. So. Well, not a problem. I love it.
Sounds good. Let me share my screen quickly. This way I'll be able to show it. Okay, so this screen. All right. So people have been asking about the AI optimizer, not necessarily seeing it. So when you're in Listadum and you are in the Promote Pins tab, this is where you can see all your listings and the pins that have been attached to it. And so when you create a new pin, this is where the pin creator is. The options that Tim has been talking about, so the more historical way of doing it is to select as many images you want here, and it's going to create pins for you. The new option for templates is here, so you can click on template here and choose one of your template, and then you can change the color theme as well. You can update the text and title for what you want. It's doing something funny here.
I think, Cyril, this is missing
there.
alt text now. We need to add alt text option.
Well, the alt text for the image is usually going to use the title. So the title that you are going to use is going to be the alt text of the image. Why do we do that? Because we assume that you are already putting the important keywords in the title. So for the AI optimizer, is this button here. Ms. Taylor, you were asking, not seeing the AI optimizer. So optimize for Pinterest. It's going to ask you for keywords. So if you have done keyword research, or if you are using PinClicks, you can definitely input the keywords there. Otherwise, it's going to take the keywords off your listing, because if they are good tags for research on Etsy, it's probably better than not using any keywords. This might not be exactly what people are searching on Pinterest, but it's a good start. And then you can click on optimize, and it's automatically going to rewrite both the title and the description for you using this keyword and trying to incorporate them in there while making titles and descriptions that are in the format expected by Pinterest. All right. I hope this helped.
Yeah, one thing real quick. You can also, when you do the optimizer, you can add anything in there as well. So if you wanted to throw in a couple hashtags, or you want to throw in something else, so if you have those things set for yourself, in that description there, you can just throw it in there, and then Listadum will push that out there as well. So that's nice. I like that option, because if you want to change it up or whatever, or over on the template, you can change any of those words. I mean, you can do whatever you want there. You just remove them or do whatever you want. And it's awesome.
Okay, Cyril, people have questions regarding this first. So is there an option to upload an image in your listing, or should I add the pin image created to my Etsy for creating pin?
Please keep coming with feedback like this. We really appreciate it. So this is a very preliminary version of these templates. The third option that is going to come here is going to be giving you the ability to upload any media you want, be it an image or video. We are also probably going to add the option to create your own carousels and multiply the number of pins that we're getting. So like what you can do today is not what you will be able to do in a month's time. We are working on this actively, as this is a powerful tool to help you promote your listings outside of Etsy. So at the moment, no, but the answer is kind of coming soon. You were, I see another question about being able to change the size of the font in the template. This is not currently possible, but this will be possible sometime in the future, and there will be more templates available. Right now, they are very simple, but we want to be able to propose more advanced templates that you can use in the future.
And yes, please send us your feedback. You can just ping us in support, where you'll get Cyril or me, or we have Discord and everything. Okay, we have so many questions, Tim, so many. Okay, first, I'm just gonna do the one which is in front of me, which is they want to discuss repinning other people's content on your boards.
Sure.
So can you, talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So repinning someone else's pin looks like this. So like when I go onto Pinterest, I will scroll and I'll see some things and I'll repin, right? So I was like, oh yeah, that I like that. That's gonna fit in one of my boards. So the reason that we do that is to keep ourselves active in Pinterest eyes. It really does help. Especially if we're pinning into the right category, into the right board that we're pinning into. But one thing that confuses people is like, why would I pin somebody else's stuff? And that's like, I know that's the question that everyone like thinks like, oh, I'm not going to pin this because it's a direct competition with what I'm doing. But here's the deal, you guys. When I'm scrolling on Pinterest, I'm not looking at someone else's account. Right? I'm not going to go into someone else's account and like look at all their boards and look at all their pins. All I'm doing is scrolling and seeing the pins that are near me, and that's it. Like that are on my board, or not on my board, but on my feed. I'm not like, you can do it. I could dig into like what Tim is posting by clicking on their profile and then going into their board and seeing all these other things. But as we're pinning, it's a pin on a board next to someone else's pin on a board is not going to hurt your SEO, or it's not going to hurt your account at all. Like Pinterest from the very beginning was built like that for us to go repin stuff. So like if I go in today and look at one of my boards for like backyard gardens, it'll literally give me a button that says more ideas about backyard gardens. It'll fill that feed with backyard garden ideas, and you can repin some of those things into your board. And it's telling Pinterest that yes, Tim on Plant and Bloom is talking about plants. We're going to push his stuff up more in the search for the things that, the correct things. But, does that make sense?
Yeah. So when Pinterest says X monthly viewers, what is that metric? Is it like the page viewers or pin impressions?
Absolutely. So let me show you. Let me just share my screen if that's okay. I'll share my screen one more time so that you guys can just see Plant and Bloom. I should have just done it earlier, just so y'all can see it. But here it is. Maybe. Did it work?
Not yet.
Oh. Well, there it is. It was like,
yes.
Okay, cool. Show my screen anyway. Yes, okay. So Plant and Bloom. All right. So our public monthly views, I said this number before, but the public monthly views, this is what someone would see. Oh, funny. This is what somebody sees in the public. So like my views are actually higher than this. These views are just what happens publicly. So like you guys could go to the Plant and Bloom, Pinterest.com/Plant and Bloom and see that number right there. And those are monthly views. Those are not outbound clicks. Those are how many times my pins have been viewed. Okay. So
like impressions.
Yeah, impressions.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. And that when I talk about monthly, or I'm sorry, public views. It's just that's like in the public's eye. Like I think we're up to 75,000 views or whatever.
When you repin somebody else's pin, that view counts towards your or theirs.
It can. So if I repin something to a board, let's look at something really quick. Let's look at a repin. Let's go to spring flowers. All right. So you're gonna see, you guys, these are some insider information. All right, you guys. So listen, when I repin something, okay, let me show you. So like this pin right here, see this pin right here has 161 views. Okay. This pin right here has no views. because it's not my pin. It's a repinned pin.
Okay.
So, but that does count. Like if somebody did click on that, it would help. It would count for them as some views. But we don't, like, I would never see those numbers because I'm repinning it in here. So it has nothing to do with my. Those pins have nothing to do with my account. But like, I'm not going to see those analytics and those views. So, yeah.
Okay, so it's
Is there a certain proportion of your own pin versus other people's pin that you recommend?
I mean, I do recommend, like, on this board, there's a lot. I have a lot of pins on here that aren't mine. I have a lot of pins. I don't know. I mean, there's probably more pins on here that aren't mine on this board. But let me show you what. Look, let me come back to that real quick because I just thought about this. But this more ideas. That's that button that I told you. Like all these pins right here, I can pin them straight to my board. I'm gonna pin it, repin it, and that just gave me some more pins on that board to show that Pinterest that I'm active. And that got. I mean, I've done in like 5 seconds. Yeah.
So it's for activity and followers?
Yep. Activity and followers, and
okay.
Yeah, that's what helps promote that. And those are those simple daily things that we can do pretty quickly. So yeah, very good.
All right. So the next question is, would it be better to start a new Pinterest or update the one we have? Okay. I have followers and monthly views, about 9 pins.
Yeah. So it's a great question I get all the time because, someone was started a Pinterest account, they already have it. And what I always recommend is, like, if you are, I say don't start a new one. Like if you already have it, you already do it, you can always change things. Like if you're not happy with like the name of it, like by all means you can change that too. So like if you have a bunch of pins, like I would never recommend, if somebody has a lot of pins and they don't want to restart, you don't have to restart. Okay. So like you can just revamp things and edit some things and make new boards. And so there's two different camps of people on Pinterest, right? There's one person that will say, I'm not pinning anything else except for my stuff and my niche. So I'm not gonna do anything else besides gardening. I'm not gonna do anything else. So that's one. But then there's the other side where like I have my Pinterest account since 2010 and they think that Pinterest account has everything on it. Everything from like Etsy tips to DIY stuff to cars to whatever, but they're all categorized in the right boards the way that Pinterest has it since the beginning. So, and that Pinterest account that's the big one with the millions of views and all that kind of stuff. So there's just 2 camps. So I would not restart a Pinterest account, but if you want to, you can. So it's really preference. So
yeah, I personally feel restarting a new account is just overrated.
I agree.
It's all based on content you post.
Yep. 100%.
I guess Taylor mentioned she's been using ChatGPT. What are your opinion on ChatGPT for keywords and Pinterest things?
Sure. So we talk about using AI actually this month in Pinterest School. One of my modules that we're going to be talking about is AI Pinterest Mastery, like using AI to help you do all the things you do. So we might as well help us use it for Pinterest. And so what I like to do is use it to help me write my titles and descriptions, give it some keywords, give it a prompt. We're going to have this month, we are going to have a custom GPT so that you guys will be able to, it's going to be super easy for you to do. But I also generate images. Like Pinterest is crazy, or ChatGPT is crazy with being able to create images and like put the right words and all that kind of stuff. I can literally, and then I don't have to design anything in Canva. So none of the things. Let me just show you. There's a couple that I did on Plant and Bloom. I unshared my screen, but ChatGPT, any of the major AI generated art, AI image ones, they do a great job, and it used to not, but now you can. I mean, words and everything are great. Let me share it one more time here, so it'll pop up here.
I think this question also came when you were talking about keyword research.
Yeah,
and I think even for Etsy, like ChatGPT is very good at giving you a lot of ideas of keywords you could be using. But one thing that's important to know is that ChatGPT has no idea about actual search volume, about actual activity for these keywords. It's only things that make sense or things that he find a good relationship with what he thinks people will want, but it actually has no idea about the actual volume that goes to it. So until these tools like ChatGPT can connect to the raw data of Pinterest or the huge database of keywords that we have in Listadum,
Right.
what they are going to suggest is not going to be necessarily good. It's not necessarily bad, but it's not on point. Like, you should not trust it blindly. You should do your additional research on it.
I 100% agree with that, Cyril, and let me touch on that in a second. But this pin right here, if you guys can see this one, I mean, I created that in Chat GPT, and like, it's just a fun one. Like, it's a little meme about,
It's great.
Yeah, isn't that cool? I did not create that. Like, I literally just said, I mean, I had to do it like a couple tweaks or whatever, but it did it great. And now you can see it knows that it's AI modified. So there's but it's fine.
How did it know?
I don't know. Probably because of the file. Probably the file. I don't think I edited it anywhere. So like, if I uploaded it to Canva or something and resaved the file, then there's something inside Chat GTP.
For everybody to know, when you generate images with these AI tools, so ChatGPT, Gemini, they have an invisible watermark as part of the image that says who generated it. So like, when you generate something from AI, it's obvious to computer systems that it's been generated by AI. It's not necessarily obvious to people. They might be fooled, quote unquote, that somebody actually created it, but machines do know.
Wouldn't it be fun if Etsy also added that, so people don't have to like, hey, did you use AI?
There's no way. That's crazy. So, just to touch on what Cyril has said, I agree with the whole ChatGPT likes to give you, or any AI likes to give you, like, the good answers. They're like, oh, you should do this and you should do that. So like, when I talk about like keywords, like I literally will say, like, I'll ask ChatGPT, like, what are the top keywords? And I'm like, well, let me just go check and see what PinClick says, because it's kind of fluffy and like, oh, the good answers or whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, but like you said, like, it's not the real answer, like the true answer, the volume of that what people are actually searching, and that's why I love PinClick. So anyway,
Okay, I think continuing that question, I feel so Pinterest search volume on PinClicks or other things. Have you compared that with Marketplace Insight search volume? Because Etsy has been very pushy about their Marketplace Insights, which give you 30-day data, not like crazy long period, but
I mean, I actually, honestly, I haven't even used it. I haven't even used the Marketplace data. I used for a while. I used Everbee to do my research and things like that. But really, I honestly, for the last few months of like, I've really been focusing on Pinterest, and then driving what are my keywords on Pinterest, and what are the searches, and like driving my traffic specific from that platform. Because I mean, I do get traffic from Etsy and things like that, but I can outperform, Etsy. But I mean, we also want to like, I think it goes hand in hand. If someone's searching for something on Pinterest, they're going to be searching for it on Etsy, and they're going to be searching for it on Google as well. And I mean, and that's the other thing, guys, I didn't talk about, but like pins can be found on Google. Pins can be, they can come up on the Google search, they can come up on AI search. So that's why we want to make sure that, we have that SEO, proper SEO and stuff. So it's awesome. So
yeah. I feel like the search data, especially for Etsy, is like, people claim, look at the search volume, but Etsy has probably true numbers when it comes to Etsy search volume.
Right.
So, and I mean, it's included in their non-plus members also. So I generally recommend people to check that first before looking at any tool.
Including alls, like, well, there are like several differences when we talk about the Marketplace Insight compared to Keyword Explorer, like in Listadum. They don't give you the same information. The Marketplace Insight gives you search volume, like actual search, where the Keyword Explorer gives you more like information that is like, first of all, on a longer time period, you have more than 30 days of data, so you can more see like the trends in like views and competition rising. They give you slightly different information, so not to be.
Yeah, and like a Marketplace Insight is also capped to 30 days. It's like, doesn't take seasonality into account, doesn't take anything. And like if anybody is selling on Etsy, they know you need to launch like 3 to 4 weeks ahead of time, not when.
Months.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I guess somebody's asking, each board needs to have one product theme.
It doesn't have to have a product theme. Like, here's an example. Is like, I mean, I have a board that's like small business tips. I mean, that's like a very broad, theme. So that is a theme. But like, I can talk about Instagram and Pinterest and social media and like whatever, managing your money, whatever, anything like that that kind of falls underneath like that. And then that's just an example. But you can also have categories inside your boards as well. So like you can your board can be categorized into categories. So it can be very general, or it can be very specific, like purple flowers only, or backyard garden ideas, which it could include purple flowers. But yeah, so I just don't overthink it. Like it's okay. I think what I always tell people is like, just launch it, put it out there. Don't overthink it. You can always tweak it if you need to. And board SEO, although it is important, it's not going to make or break. Like what really matters, and when it boils down to it, is what's on your pin, and that's what's going to get found. Because if you guys roll back and see how many followers that I had on Plant and Bloom, it was like 40, and that's it. And we're sitting at 75,000 views per month, and it's not because I have followers, it's because I'm creating content. You don't need followers on Pinterest, so don't get stuck on, I don't have any followers. You do not need followers on Pinterest, and that's the great. I love it. That's one of the things. Another thing that I love about Pinterest. So
that's awesome. Do you think video pins do better or image pins?
Oh my! I have video pins with millions and millions of views. I have regular pins with millions of views. So I think it really, what I always recommend for people, create a pin that's a static image and create one that's a video and see what performs better. And because on Pinterest, we can test things, or A/B test, whatever you want to call it, test things quickly and free and see what performs better and just kind of double down on that. Like if one of the pins that performed really, really well was the field of like daisies in like Tuscany or something. I was taking a couple keywords, but I turned that image into a video with AI. With AI, I just said make it a video, and it did. It was it was moving, and the flowers were moving, whatever, and the sun was rising a little bit. But the video did well. But like I think it just depends on what the content is. And I mean, like that pin I showed you guys, the top performing pin with the little art there. I mean, there's somebody making something, and that's why it was so visual, and that's why it got so many views. But it has like 10 million views or more, or whatever it is at now. But so I would say you guys test things out, right? If you can make a video in Canva and do it quickly, post to both of them and see what happens. So.
Okay. I guess my next question is also, people, if you have questions, please chat. I think I've covered everything in the chat.
No,
my questions now.
Sorry. There's one that I think is pretty important and we should answer.
Sure.
Patsy is asking, does pinning the same pin multiple times to the same board hurt performance? And I think this is a pretty important one to answer, because I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, very, very important. So you can pin the same link, the same listing. So everything has its own URL. You can pin your same listing. But what I recommend is changing the image and changing the title and description. However, you can spread those out. So like there was, so you want to make sure that you spread them out. If you're pinning the exact same thing, you want to make sure that it's spread out. And so that's one thing to think about, because you don't want to pin the same exact URL over and over and over again with the same image, the same text, and all that kind of stuff, because you're gonna be looked at as, you're spamming the same link. And so that's what I like to do with Listadum, is like, all right, well, I'm gonna pin this one 5 times, but I'm using different images. But the title and description can be the same, but it's still considered a fresh pin if it's a new image. And even so, you can. So there was a way to used to be able to do it using another thing where you could literally pin your pins all over your account and on different boards, and you can still do that. But I just that method, I don't like that method. I like doing fresh pins because Pinterest loves fresh content, and that's kind of the way it is. So you can definitely pin multiple. Like if I have one listing for purple flowers, I can pin it as many times as I want, spread out 1 to 2 days in between those pins or more, but making sure that we're creating those fresh images and fresh titles and descriptions as well, or have them spread out. So yep.
So in short, it does not hurt your Pinterest to make many pins that post to the same URL.
Correct.
But the content needs to be fresh. Either you change the title, change the image, make some variation. Sometimes it's square, sometimes it's long, sometimes it's a video.
Yep.
Like it's the same kind of content, but it's different every time. It's fresh. That will not hurt your Pinterest. In fact, it might actually help.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, love it. Yep.
Somebody's asking, they're spinning the same pin multiple times to Cyril, you already asked that. Okay, I guess my question also is that Etsy, I guess you covered it a little bit. Etsy has mostly square images.
Yeah.
Doesn't really go well with the Pinterest aspect ratio.
Right.
And that's like what templates is going to partially solve. But have you seen any difference in, like, I don't know, pins which are squarish? Because I see a lot of Pinterest experts telling me, like, do the Pinterest aspect ratio, and they are like pretty adamant about that.
Sure. I think it really doesn't. The only thing it really matters for is like visual, and if someone's gonna are you catching is this small square pin catching someone's eye more than this tall pin over here? We have more real estate, more bigger text, more information can be on the taller pins, right? So I don't see, I don't see, like, as far as like pins like outperforming like taller pins versus square pins, like as far as like click through and stuff like that. Obviously if someone's on it and they see it and they want it, like especially with Etsy, because we have our pins are even better because we have like the price on there, and they're rich pins basically, because Pinterest loves Etsy, and because of their shopping, Pinterest loves when people are shopping on their platform, because it keeps them coming back for more. And so listen, if you look at Plant and Bloom, you probably saw it as I was scrolling. There's a bunch of square images on there because I don't have time to make all those. So if you're just putting out, I didn't have time. Now I have time to create all those with the templates for Listadum. But like, if you're putting out content, you're putting out content. And I would take time to create tall ones when I had the time, but I was still getting content out there with this unoptimized square pins. So
yes,
yeah,
don't let the perfect be the enemy of good. It's better to post something than to post nothing.
Yes, for sure.
We have some sellers with like thousands of listings. I can't imagine people sitting and making like pins for each of them.
You can't. You wouldn't be able to do it, but now you can.
Yeah.
So
I was like, Cyril, can we please build this? Please build this. Please build this. Because like, you sit and you look at Etsy and it's like, share it on Pinterest. Sometimes I click that button in Etsy, or sometimes I'm motivated to make the pin, but you go to Canva and there are 50,000 templates and you're like, okay, I'm overwhelmed. Thanks. Bye.
Yep.
Another great question here about hashtags. Is that still a thing on Pinterest? It's 2026 today.
So great question. You'll hear this. I'm not on YouTube. I think I was on YouTube in 2012, but if you see all influencers talking about Pinterest, they're saying don't use hashtags. Here's the deal. Hashtags are still clickable. Pinterest is still using them for something. So I recommend that you still use them until that ability for us to click on them goes away. All right. So they're still there. They're still clickable, but do not put more than 1 to 3 in there, because it looks bad. It's spammy. Pick your best keywords and put them at the bottom. And until they remove the ability to have them they're not clickable anymore, I will keep telling people to use them, because they're clickable and you can click on them and you can use them to search. So why not? Why not put them in there? So yep. But go ahead. Yep.
Somebody's asking if they should pin similar, like, would you advise we pin similar niches to what we are selling?
Oh, say
I
that
would
one more
say
time.
don't. Would you
Yeah.
advise we pin the similar niches to what we are selling?
Similar.
I would not put another Etsy sellers. It's
Well,
like, hey,
yeah. Yeah. Oh, no. I wouldn't do that either. Like something that fits in your niche. I mean, don't put like a competitor, like a direct competitor to what you're selling. No, don't do that. I would something that other things that fit in there that, if you're, I'm selling this purple flower wall art and I repin this other one, I'm like, that's my direct competitor. So
yeah.
yeah, for sure. No.
I guess I have a question though. Like I've seen a lot of big Etsy sellers have
Mhm.
their own website also, and their own website is integrated with Pinterest checkout and everything.
Yeah.
And as a seller, I'm like, I don't care where my sale is coming from. I would do
Sure.
both. What is your recommendation for these
So
people?
the reason that they're doing that is there can be a verified Pinterest merchant, and they're using like a Shopify account or their own website, not Etsy. We cannot be a verified, and then they can have those shoppable pins on Pinterest.
Mhm.
It's a huge process. If we're selling on Etsy, like don't even think about it. Like it's something that like you have to go through the process of having your own website, getting verified, doing all the things, jumping through all the hoops. Like I looked into it and I'm like, that's a lot for me. But people do it. And then, I mean, but the bottom line is like, why don't we just not pin our Etsy shop all over Pinterest? It's the same thing. Like they're clicking through. But these verified merchants do get more. They get a little bit higher up in the search. They get a little bit more exposure just because they're verified and things like that. So it's something
Mm.
it's a lot. Like if if you're not ready to start your own website, and it's just a lot. So
It is a lot. And I mean,
Mhm.
personally, I have done that and it's still a nightmare.
Mhm.
And then you have to take, I don't know, I was like, I need a course for this thing because
Yeah, you
there's
have
some
to.
integration mismatch and I'm not able to resolve. I don't have time to resolve it.
Right.
And it's just, I do my
Right.
yearly donation to Shopify.
There you go.
That's my joke. But
Oh my.
everything goes to my Etsy.
That's funny.
Um,
But in turn, think about that Etsy seller that has 1,000 listings on Etsy, and then they create 5 pins for every single Etsy listing that they have, and now you have 5,000. That's the right math. 5,000 pins pointing back at their Etsy shop
yeah.
forever, and then more, and then just keep that going. And like all of a sudden now we have this huge mass of pins like pointing back to our shop, and it's awesome. So
One thing I've observed is like when you said Pinterest love Etsy is like Pinterest trends just released in December.
mhm.
And then the moment they release it, all Etsy sellers are jumping on those trends. Those pins are ending up on Pinterest and Pinterest is sending traffic to Etsy. I've seen that so much
Yeah.
that it's interesting to see how Pinterest is driving Etsy traffic.
Yes, it is true. And the fact that not a lot of Etsy sellers are actually using Pinterest yet. And still,
Yeah.
and so, and that's why, that's why I'm here teaching this and like teaching you guys like this is easy to do and get out there and like something that's like not that Instagram and TikTok grind where you're just relying on something going viral. Now we're just relying on actual search. Like this is like search. Like I had a call the other day with someone. It literally was on Tuesday, and she said we created pins, and she messaged me like 5 hours later. She's like, "I'm getting views already." I'm like, "Well, that's awesome. That's exactly what should be happening because we're putting the right keywords in that are being searched, and we're doing a little bit better than your competitors are doing." And then she messaged me. She's like, "Is this real?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's real. Like it's exactly." Yeah.
RJ is saying that was her.
Well, yeah, no, I mean it could have been, but like it was actually more than what she was. Yeah, it's funny. You could it counts. Some of your clicks do count here, so you can sit there and click, boost up your own clicks, and that's just silly.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are some sellers which like they have 10 shops on Listadum, and I'm like, wow, can you imagine that?
Oh my
like them
word.
creating pins, it's insane. So
Yep. But yeah, now imagine them creating all those pins easily with Listadum and just, you know,
There's
set and
you
forget.
you only touched on it very briefly, but in your experience, this auto pin feature that you can enable, and every day it's going to take one of your listing and publish a pin. Is that helping with like this consistency that you were talking about? Like, is it something you use personally? Like, I think you said you are using it.
Yeah, I turned it on.
And do you recommend people doing like a mix of both, or like I think like keeping it in autopilot is probably something already, but it's probably good like to have like a more refined strategy where you do a little bit of both and you focus on certain aspect of your boards or the pins that you're creating.
Yeah, so I turned on the autopilot feature for Listadum when you told me about it. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's awesome. But what wound up happening was at the beginning, I had all my pins scheduled and everything through January. And I think there was a couple days where I didn't have any. And then the autopilot feature kicked in, and well, I was already kicking in, but it kicked in and actually, I had content being posted out there when I forgot to go back and get those scheduled out there. So it is awesome, and I think that daily activity that's going to you don't even have to think about it at that point. So yeah, that's good. It's awesome.
I guess I have a question though. Like a lot of YouTube, Pinterest gurus say like, use Pinterest to schedule your things, and like they like it when you use their platform.
Sure.
Then I mean, everybody's using tools to automate stuff. Do you think you have seen any difference?
So I mean, my camp on that is for years I used Tailwind, which is another. It's a different. Yeah. You're right. It's a Pinterest scheduling app, and that's what basically built my multi-million view.
So there's no difference if you're using a scheduler versus Pinterest.
I do not see a difference. It just creates. It creates consistency. It helps you create to see things visually. Like I don't know. I don't think Pinterest. Why would Pinterest want to penalize you for posting on their platform?
Yeah. I don't know. I was looking at it, and I was looking at videos on YouTube. And I was like, oh, should I do that? And they only allow you to bulk create 10 pins. And you're like, okay, this is kind of boring.
Right. Well, and I say, so in that same right, for a long time, Tailwind was Pinterest was talking about Tailwind and using Tailwind and recommending it. And I'm like, what? So if any, that's before some of these, YouTube Pinterest gurus are even around. So I've seen it all, and there was times where they were the only platform that could schedule stuff, and Pinterest isn't going to give that ability just to someone who, and they're huge. So anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it. You schedule with what you want to schedule with. Canva has a scheduling option in there, and so
yeah, I've never managed to make it work.
It's odd.
Because it's like you need one pin, and you can, if you have a multi-page pin, you sit and you bulk create pins in Canva. You have 100-page document of pins, but you can't schedule them. It needs to be in its own document.
I know it doesn't make me. I tried to figure it out, and I don't like it. So
it requires more effort or time than I have.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll fix that. But for me, it's I do like to schedule my pins through the native, and then I use obviously Listadum. So I'm pinning a lot through Listadum and scheduling it all. So it's awesome.
Yep. Awesome. Okay, guys, last call for questions. Otherwise, we are gonna wrap this up.
Love it. And I see some of you all have, if you guys are still on here and you joined over on Pinterest School, I saw you all and you guys are in there, and I was doing that while we were chatting. But thank you guys for joining up, and message me if you're listening. Message me or whatever. I know I saw you guys, but I've got some Etsy training in there already, and I'm sure once I get this video, I'll put that in there too, so we can all go back and check it all out and everything. And but yeah.
Yeah,
Very
I think
cool.
Sean is asking, do you recommend changing your first photo to freshen your listing from time to time? Um, Tim, do
On
you want to answer that?
uh
On Etsy, I guess.
on Etsy, I would say no. I mean, when you're picking that item, when you're picking that first profile picture, you want that to be your best one. And whatever that looks like, I would just say I wouldn't change it up, because I mean, unless it's not performing well, then change it up. But if it's something that's like doing well, then why should we change it up?
And I guess
So
I've seen a lot of people, post a listing, A/B test thumbnails to see which
yeah,
one works better. There's
yeah,
like a whole philosophy around thumbnails, and I think we should do a session on that, Cyril.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
for sure. I mean, some nails are important, especially if
Thumbnail is
yeah,
the entry point to your listing. So like appearing in search, it's very important that you convert this search appearance into a click, and then later on that you transform this click into a sale. But like if you are already getting click and your thumbnail is working, then do not change
don't
it,
change
or
anything.
yeah,
experiment with it by creating maybe a separate listing with this separate new image to see if it's behaving differently. If it's not working, if you are not getting any views, then yes, for sure.
If it's not working, be brave,
Exper-
change whatever you feel like it.
Change it,
And
experiment, see if it's making a difference. Like I said, this is the entry point to your listing. If the current image is not working, there is no reason to keep your listing around. So experiment with it or toss it. Like one of the two.
also, if you feel like your sales are going down, because all listings have, a curve, so you can refresh it and be like, okay, let's see if this thumbnails works better.
yeah,
But like, yeah, don't overthink it. If a listing is not doing great, just change thumbnail or relaunch it with a different image and see if it's working. Otherwise, let it go. Only 20% of your listings bring 80% of your sales. So there are a lot of listings that just sit there.
yeah, yep. And that
Cool.
kind of goes the same thing with like Pinterest as well. You can actually go in and edit title and the descriptions. You can't edit the image that you pin. Like for example, the pin that I showed you guys earlier with 10 million views of the art thing or whatever, like it's not even optimized at all. Like I don't even know, that title doesn't even make sense, and the description doesn't make, I mean, it makes sense, but it just does not fit. And I'm like, I'm not changing this thing, because like I could go in there and optimize it more, but I'll mess it up. So I don't want to mess up all
Yeah.
these millions of views. So if it's working, don't do anything with it. So yeah,
Cool.
awesome.
Okay. I guess that was the last question. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Tim, for sharing all
Yeah.
your knowledge with us.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
learned a lot.
All good. Awesome. Well, thank you
This was
guys.
an awesome session. I think there were a lot of
Yeah.
people in the comments saying thank you for all the precious information you've been sharing with us.
Yeah.
As a reminder, you can find Team in Pinterest School. So that's school.com/Pinterest. You have like a very easy to find handle. Yep. And yes, this video recording will be posted on the YouTube channel of Listadum, and we'll also email it to everybody who has VPBS to this event.
And all the Listadum users, if you text us in support, you reach us directly. We are a very small team, so please send us your feedback, questions, or suggestions to improve.
Yes. And let us know what you think about all these new features we presented today.
Yes.
The Pinterest part of Listadum and the promote part of Listadum is actively being worked on. So more to come, more to come. Tim, any closing note?
No, I think that's it, guys. Just remember that be active and start pinning today. Like get on there and start pinning. I think just little actions every single day are going to create volumes of traffic in the future, and just practice makes perfect and all that good stuff too, because it really does. Like you get better at it and faster at it, and with tools like this, we can just really grow and grow and grow. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you later.
Thank you so much.
Yep,
this was awesome.
Yep.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for your time today, and we'll see you soon.